Che, a PhD candidate at the University of Guelph. I am so excited to talk about our research project, Characterization, Prevalence, and Risk Factors of Broiler Breast Myopathies, Spaghetti meat, woody breast, and white striping. So chicken is the most favorite meat in the world, and to meet this growing demand, chickens are getting bigger and heavier. And now we can see the emergence of breast myopathies, spaghetti meat, woody breast, and white striping in countries with intensive farming such as United States, Brazil, and many European countries, and China and Thailand. So breast fillets with myopathies are not physically appealing. A is the picture of normal fillets, and B is the picture of spaghetti meat, which is characterized by the separation and unraveling of myofibers. And C is woody breast, which is characterized by increased toughness, petechial hemorrhages, and gelatinous exudate. D is the picture of white striping that presents the white lines parallel to muscle fibers. Because of this unappealing appearance, consumers do not want to buy the affected fillets, even though these are not public health concern, which means there are no pathogens or no harmful chemicals. So broiler processors take out these affected fillets and use them for further processing, and that is one of the reasons that they lose money. And another reason is that affected fillets lose muscle fibers, and those fillets were replaced with fibrous and adipose tissues, resulting in lower water holding capacity than normal fillets. So these myopathies have a huge impact on broiler industry, but there's no systematic study in Canada. So we wanted to characterize these myopathies and identify prevalence and risk factors of these myopathies. And to pursue our objectives, we went to a processing plant and we scored breast fillets. So last year, we visited 2 plants and scored 90 to 150 fillets from 37 plots. And I want to share some our interesting results. And for morphology, we measured area, length, thickness, hardness, and weight. And our samples shows that the affected fillets are thicker and heavier than normal fillets. So to characterize breast myopathies, we made histological slides, and panel A shows polygonal myofibers covered by endomysium, which is the red circle, and these myofibers consist muscle bundles that are covered by perimysium, which is colored in blue. However, affected broiler breast tissues show multifocal polyphasic myodegeneration and necrosis, which are seen in panel B and C. B is moderately affected tissues shows myodegeneration, and panel C is severely affected tissue that shows interstitial fibrosis and the accumulation of fat and perivascular cupping, which is mainly macrophages or sometimes heterophils. And these histological changes affect the meat quality, especially the water holding capacity of meat. Now I want to talk about the prevalence of breast myopathies. In our samples, the prevalence of spaghetti meat was approximately 36%, and severe woody breast was approximately 12%, and mild and moderate white striping, it was 96%. So almost all fillets presented some degree of white lines. So if you go to a grocery store, you can find some white lines from chicken breast. And 5% of fillets presented all 3 myopathies, and only 3.7% of breast fillets didn't show any myopathies. And when you see this Venn diagram, spaghetti meat occurs with white striping, and severe woody breast also occurs with white striping. And in our samples, there's no severe white striping, no WS3. And for factors associated with the occurrence of woody breast, we can see that the infectious bursal disease vaccination and live weight and use of antibiotics and the number of followers affected the occurrence of breast myopathies. And I want to thank my advisory committee members, Chao, first lab members, summer students. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, ches@uofguelph.ca. Thank you for listening.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your presentation. I think I missed the very last slide. You were talking about vaccination, so I apologize. If anybody has any questions for Sunoh, can you please put them in the question and answer? I had a question that I was surprised to see that 96% of the fillets demonstrated white striping. Is that related to a certain strain? Did you look at a breed of bird or anything?
Yes, that was our assumption before we started the study. So we asked the questionnaire to a processing plant, and unfortunately, all the breeds are Ross 7 or 8. So we could not compare the difference between breed and strain.
Oh, okay.
And I want to make sure that, so we categorize the white striping with 4 categories. So WS0 means no white striping, and the WS1 is a little bit of mild striping, and the WS2 was moderate striping, and the WS3 was severely affected with white striping. And in our samples, there's no severely affected white striping, but almost all fillets, they presented with some white lines. So many professors think that is acceptable to consumers now. So they believe that it is a new normal at this time of moment.
Right. Does it affect eating quality? The mild or the moderate?
Yeah. So the affected fillets, the muscle fibers are replaced with adipose tissues. That white lines are fat, so that is not healthy. So instead of good protein, we'll eat that fat tissue. So that affects the water holding capacity, and that affects some cooking loss and drip loss. So it has negative impact on meat quality.
Okay, good. We have a couple questions here. Was the prevalence of myopathies higher or lower in RWA, so raised without antibiotic flocks, compared to conventional AGP fed flocks?
Yeah, that is a really good question. So we could see that some RWA flocks affect the occurrence of breast myopathies. Yeah, so RWA flocks, they have more, hold on a second, conventional flocks, they have more woody breast or white striping. And raised without antibiotics, they have less woody breast or white striping. So we believe that that is indirectly related to growth rate, but it needs more study.
Great. Well, that's very interesting. All right, we have one more question here, and I'm just going to read it, and then perhaps you can answer it for us in the question and answer. Just type the answer in, just for time's sake. Do you have any information about the flock's process, sex, rearing conditions, age, body weight? I'm sure you do, but you can answer that in the question and answer.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Demographics of our flocks are or Ross 7 or 8, and the average age was 42 days, and the live weight was 2.2 kilograms. And the sex, there are 33% were male and approximately 40% male, 40% female, and 20% mixed flocks. Some bands male, some bands females. But we couldn't see statistical difference between those sex.
All right. Well, thank you for that.